Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Lance here, and today I want to chat with you about 4 reasons that self-sabotage actually might be playing a much bigger role in your weight loss results than even nutrition and workout. So I know that sounds crazy, but the reality is that so many people spend so much of their time focusing on which is the best diet or nutrition program and which workouts and all the nuances of all those things, but they're failing to actually look at what causes them to not even be able to follow along with the program and what causes people to not actually get the results or keep the results that they got to begin with. So, with that being said, we're going to chat about 4 of the main reasons that self-sabotage typically affects weight loss way more than nutrition and workout. So, very first one that I see more than anything, I would say, is that conflicting beliefs and desires are things that will lead to self-sabotage over and over again. What I mean by this is that, for example, I'll use the phrase or the term thermostat, but in this scenario here, whenever somebody believes that they are not capable of being in shape, or they believe that they are an overweight person, something about them, then when they start having fit people habits, those beliefs in their mind are inconsistent or what are called conflicting, meaning that their desire is to get into shape and to get out of where they're at, but yet the other belief is that they're doomed to be an overweight person for life. Another example might be that somebody who has negative neuroassociations, meaning that somebody who wants to be married more than anything in their existence, but yet has negative neuroassociations to being married. You know, maybe they saw growing up every marriage that they valued ended in failure. So what happens is they have a belief that marriage will equal happiness, but then they have another conflicting belief that marriage ends in divorce and causes pain. This is a conflicting belief that we see all the time in fitness, where again, somebody might believe that getting in shape is the best thing for them and what they need, but then they also believe getting in shape might be the most painful thing for them that they've ever done. These conflicting beliefs will cause so much tension. The stronger one is what's going to win. So again, if somebody believes that it's more painful to get in shape, and that's the belief that wins over all the happiness that exists enters in my life when I'm in shape, the one that wins is unfortunately the one that causes the person to not get in shape. This is a conflicting belief or conflicting desire. And while I won't get into all of this, this is something that needs to be worked on, because what you believe to be true about yourself is going to be manifested in your actions. If I believe that I am a C student, I will have C student grades because of my C student habits. Same thing with you. If you believe that you're an overweight person, you're going to have overweight. And I don't mean like temporarily overweight. I'm talking about you're doomed to be the fat person, the overweight person, the ugly one, the C student, the whatever. Pick your label. When you label yourself with that, but yet you desire something different than the label you gave yourself, this is what's known as conflicting beliefs. This is where a lot of times I'll see individuals following a program, doing really well. They're working on their physiology, so they're dropping weight, they're getting in shape, they're building muscle, they're getting energy and stamina, and then all of a sudden they start binge eating, or they pick a fight in their relationship, they have financial troubles, they have a business problem, a career problem. These things start popping up because of conflicting beliefs that are lower, and these things are coming up to the surface. If you only focus on diet and workout alone, you're going to miss the fact that conflicting beliefs might completely prevent you from seeing all the way through to the finish line. So that's a huge one. The second one is not having enough margin in other areas. So this leads to stress and overwhelm. So a lot of times trainers, coaches, even if you're not working with a trainer or a coach, we have these high achiever tendencies that we spread ourselves too dang thin. And what happens is when we don't have enough margin in our lives, enough quality of time off between work, or just to feel like our life is something of quality that we don't dread constantly, we begin to feel like we're spread too thin and we don't have the quote time to give up for working out or for meal prepping. And this really is not a time management issue. This really is a margin issue, in which case we want to make sure that we create enough margin of time, or we'll say abundance, to make sure that we don't just skate by to get our results. So margin is something that we teach on extensively. So if somebody is constantly spreading themselves too thin, we start looking for areas to focus on, what we would call the critical five, focusing on areas that are highly important and not just urgent. And this takes us out of some of the old patterns that cause us to binge eat or to not work out because we're not making the time, or we're simply not creating enough margin to have room without being stressed. So oftentimes what this looks like is we go to work and then we're taking the kids to do this, and we've got this thing to do and that thing to do, and then we're trying to fit working in after all of that. And the issue is that we've not even created enough margin to even have room to fit something fun in, much less to go work out or to do anything else. So of course, and when we have so little margin, very little time and very little energy, at the end of that, do you really think that you're going to put that energy and that effort into working out or being in shape? Not a chance. You've not created enough margin for yourself, so you're not even giving enough adequate time for you to enjoy your own life when you have off. So there's no way you're going to want to put towards working out or meal prepping, which also feels like work, if you're not really focused on the mindset. So this is an area number 2 of why this happens, where self-sabotage leads in. People begin feeling like there's not enough margin, which there's not enough. They feel like there's not enough time, so they start skipping out on things that they know will lead to a better quality of life, more confidence, more tenacity, and I would say, well, obviously we know that, but I would say more than anything, what's the one that I hear? A vitality. As those of you who are watching who are 35 and older, that's one of the biggest things, is having energy and vitality to get through and actually enjoy life. That's what I hear more than anything, and that's where I'm at. All right, so number 3 is lacking the tools when emotions and stress take over, and that usually will lead to binge eating, skipping workouts, or even having worse vices where we're using like numbing and escapism, such as drinking and what have you. Now again, I'm not beating up having a drink of alcohol. What I'm stating is that if we are lacking the tools for our emotions, and we're drinking when we're emotional rather than getting consoled or talking, the same thing happens if we're eating when we're lonely, if we're eating when we're bored, if we're eating when we're sad, if we're eating when we're this, that, or the other. Then again, we're trying to solve a problem. It's like trying to fit a round peg through a square hole. It doesn't make any sense, but we keep on doing it. So the whole issue here is that there are tools that will help you. We call it emotional intelligence, along with setting up good, great, and awesome goals to prevent you from crashing and burning or setting up such overzealous tools, or secondly, not being able to have the clarity on what to do whenever you have an emotional day. So these are things where an emotional day, an emotional week happens, and a lot of times people believe that having an emotional day or a bad day and being fit are mutually exclusive. And the fact is that we teach our clients how to, instead of how to avoid obstacles, we teach them how to navigate through them. So if you're not learning actually how to have the tools to prepare you for those crazy emotional days where the boss says something, or maybe you even feel like for a moment that your job is on the line, how do you keep yourself in shape? How do you keep yourself doing the things that you need to when you have a day like that? Well, same reason or the same way that you don't abandon your kids when you have a bad day. You know that your kids still matter, and so you go and take care of them. You still pay your bills. You do all the things that are needed. What you have is the proper tools to help you do the things that matter even when you've had a crappy day or a crappy week or a crappy month. You need those same tools to allow you to overcome those bad days in ways that do not derail you from your goals, and that's the key. Number 4, scarcity mindset. And this one's huge, guys. This one here, putting your desires last simply because you fear not having enough time, energy, or money, or whatever, just let's use the word resources, to reach your goals and still get work done or whatever it is. So here's what happens. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, a lot of times what people do is they schedule their workouts, their meal planning, everything dead last out of everything else, and then they wonder why they don't have time. Well, again, we already know that if you don't have margin, you won't have time for your workouts, but a lot of times if you have a scarcity mindset, you may never even schedule your workouts. You try and only do your workouts or your meal prep or pick something important at the end of your day with what little energy or time you have left. This is scarcity mindset that says, I don't trust I'm going to have enough business to be able to stay in business if I put working out in my day. An abundance mindset says, I trust that if I take care of myself and I get myself healthy and well, I'm going to work out during the day, and that's going to cause me to get new business and do better in my business. One is abundance mindset, one is scarcity. Scarcity is going to keep you trapped forever. Abundance shows you a way out, but helps you to keep your business, your career, your family, etc. intact. That's the whole key. So hope that this has helped you guys. These are 4 self-sabotage areas that most people fall prey to, and even though they're usually typically looking at diet, nutrition, workout, etc. So focus on these even before focusing intently on the nutrition and workouts, and that will allow your nutrition and workout to stay on track consistently. Let me know if you guys feel like this was of any value below. Put #value in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions, and be sure to look